Hello, welcome to Rolling Escapades Season 2, Episode 32, Part 1, the web series in which we play D&D and put it online for your entertainment. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll come away feeling extremely entertained. Woo! Happy New Year, because it's a new year now, and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed your time off, we've enjoyed our time off, doing basically nothing, I think, as covers the extent of what we've done. Nothing.
Pants time.
Pants time.
I redecorated.
Jordan did something.
But did you redecorate in your pants?
Some of the time.
Yeah.
Hey, pants time.
After the blinds went up.
Obviously. We are down as Sam because reasons. That's the best I've got. I don't
Just
actually know where it is. Sam things. Just Sam things, yeah. So, there we go. We're still sponsored by Dessel. Link in the description. Go click on that, search for the stuff, sign up for emailing list, buy some stuff. It's pretty cool. Check out Christopher Rolls. He's our artist. He's done some cool character art. You can get commissions from him on his Facebook page, and you can buy his DM Skilled products. It's all linked in the description below. Cool. So last time we had a session, which was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Cool. You guys were continuing the investigation of the missing children. You had a conversation with Mother Frida, where you spoke to her about the missing children, the fact that you followed the tracks here, and she said how she was just trying to create some friends for her daughter. And then it was mentioned that there were other settlements that would have children that worship in the Raven Queen, so maybe there were better places for her to go.
Maybe face
maybe
palms were had.
some maybe, I don't know, more normal avenues of making friendship should be
Yeah,
explored.
yeah.
That's the underlying idea there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, which is a psychopath.
Was the little girl the ghost that we ended up fighting?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I've forgotten there was a little girl.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I needed that clarified just in case.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So yes, you ended up in a fight with Mother Frida and her ghost daughter Eileen, where Mother Frida modified the memories of Aegis and Derek to make them think that she was fighting with them and was hunting down the child snatcher, and made them forget that Eileen even existed. And Eileen possessed Dessel and used Dessel to sort of incessantly stab Shamshir. But after a long, hard fight, you eventually forced her and Eileen to retreat. After dealing with her strange zombie-like servants, but prior to her retreating, she did succeed in tearing off Erebus's face. So he currently has no face. At this point in time, he is still slightly down the stairs behind the other door, and only Shamshir and Eldoran have noticed the lack of his face. Which leads to the very first thing I've been told to do, which is Erebus asks you two, because you're there, not to mention his face. Because he doesn't want to talk about it, and he takes the coverings that he's got and hides his face completely.
I feel like it shows a little bit.
Sam.
I haven't put it on, so I could. Actually, no, I did put it on, but I'll take the white face mask off then that I have for hunting monsters and pass it over to Shade, and then he can properly obscure his face. It's missing.
Yeah, okay. He'll put that on top as well.
Removes all possibilities of talk to the face because the scabs ain't
Yeah,
listening.
you can only talk to the hand. So,
But he's still got his face in his hand.
yeah,
He's
so
like-
he would be talking to the face and the hand.
I assume he puts it in his back.
Yeah,
or something.
he pulls out like a
Folds it
rag,
up.
folds his face up and hides it and puts it in the bag.
I'm just standing there doing this. I'm
Find
literally
out.
doing this.
Stuff it in a bucket.
Yeah.
So, how long do you think this is going to work for? I give it 40 seconds.
Let's just say he had all his teeth knocked out or something, or broke his nose, just got something disfiguring. Damages his pride. He doesn't talk much anyway. Like, poor guy.
I suppose it is disfiguring. Okay, fine.
Is the door open or closed to the?
The door was open. Yes, because you would have left it open. But the three of them will come back up.
I'm gonna start walking my way over there to check on Shade.
Let's go. Yeah. You see Shade coming back up. He's wearing Shamshir's mask.
Why? You've given him your mask? What?
Don't ask.
He's taken a hefty blow to the face. He doesn't want to show it off.
Why? Scars can. You're already married. Don't worry.
Exactly. He doesn't want to attract any more friends. Sure, yeah. That's good.
So what was the room like that we were fighting in?
Oh yeah. It was a roughly 40-foot diameter, 30 to 40-foot diameter, depending on thing. Mostly circular hut. There's a fireplace in the middle with a cauldron of a black pot of weird thick black liquid sort of bubbling in it. And there are no windows. There's just a door that you've come in. The door that leads down to this sort of stone mine area. Yeah, stone entranceway. And then there's various shelves on the walls that have got weird little knickknacks, odd looking things just sort of sitting on them.
Didn't you say it smelt of?
Caramel and saccharin.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And it still smells that way. It wasn't like an illusion.
No, it still smells very sweet, very, very sweet.
Okay. Well, we're all in one shape still. Just.
I cast my eye up and down.
How is
Hence the just. What's the next plan? Because I don't feel up to going down there and pursuing that bitch.
Is that where she went?
I think
We have,
so.
we have to find the children.
Well,
we can't find the children?
Why were you attacking her?
Yeah, Aegis, we know this. She's done the modified memory thing.
I wasn't sure if it
Can you
mentioned-
dispel it?
I don't think I've got dispel magic.
Okay, so if we meet her again, I don't know if me and Aegis are going to be able to help you because we're
No, I can't.
we're blind to her. We can't.
You,
I believe you all, and I understand that she's our enemy because we were fighting her and she was attacking us. But as far as I'm concerned, she's made my mind. She's used magic to make my mind convinced that she's our friend and our companion.
and you're sure that like blunt force doesn't fix things?
Sorry, quick note for Liam. We're now playing by the rule where we can change our spells on a long rest. Yes.
Yes, yeah. We're using the UA rule. Yeah.
Great, wonderful.
Yes. So.
I asked you a question.
Oh right, what? Say your question again.
Would blunt force solve the problem?
What's blood?
Blunt force.
Oh, blunt. Okay.
Well, you did
It's
seem
not
to
weed,
snap
it's
out of
just
it
hit.
with a whack around the head. Sorry.
A smack around the head sort of helped them deal with the zombie things, but magic, particularly charming magic, is a potent thing. It will remain in place until either the effect has run its course, depending on if it's that kind of spell that has a duration, or until it's dispelled. Derek does know that for the case of modifying memory, it is a lasts until dispelled spell.
What do you suggest?
I mean, I get that, they can use magic and probably circumvent this, but to my mind, looking at this somewhat tactically and as much as I can right now, this place has 2 entrances. It's already sealed. It already has a fire. It's got warmth in here. We could stay here, rest up, make sure we're fully fighting fit to go just down there to finish the job.
What if they return?
What's the time, Dad?
You guys have been going now. Hang on. 1, 2, 3,
Like 4 or 5.
4, 5, about 6 hours.
We can
1
assume-
hour down to the trolls. Sorry, getting to the town originally.
Out to the town, out to the trolls.
Hour
out-
outside the town, or 2 hours, I think. Outside
Oh yeah,
the
that's
town.
right. You're about hour 7. Yeah.
Then an hour inside, an hour to the trolls, an hour back, an hour to the village, an hour of searching the village, and then an hour journey, 2 hour journey.
I think it was an hour journey.
It's about 8 hours.
Yeah. You're sort of nearing end of day sort of thing. Yeah.
I appreciate we probably could do with some rest. We don't know which direction the hag went in. She disappeared into thin air. The same with the ghost that was in the room as well.
Ghost?
Yeah, you met her earlier, but it's been removed from your mind. The small girl out front, she was a ghost.
Okay.
We could consider the possibility that perhaps she might want to make an escape with the children, so perhaps we shouldn't wait too long. And we don't necessarily know that it goes on very far. We haven't explored the back room she tried to take Shade in. With any luck, maybe we'll find the children and can quickly get out of here before the ghost zips back in through the walls. There's not much we can do to stop that.
It certainly wouldn't be ideal to hold up in your enemy's stronghold.
Should Dessel watch the front door for any more of those flaky zombie
No,
people?
I think Dessel should go with us, and one or two of us should cover the door because they don't
come
know
back,
his
she might be
face.
possessed.
Also, they know his face.
Well, do we have any volunteers for the door?
Well, I will take the door.
Would we not be able to simply barricade the door with looking around the room? Is there anything significant we can just shove in front of the door?
Why are we barricading the door?
Did
Why,
we-
we're fighting a ghost and a teleporting hag.
Usually teleport is somewhat reliant on sight,
Depends on the spell.
but unless she knows very specific spells, she'd be able to say the location anyway, in which case it wouldn't be further out the tunnel, it wouldn't be further just outside, it could be anywhere.
There's
So,
also a possibility
if-
she's using divination magic to listen in.
If the spell that she knows is to teleport simply somewhere she can see, then barricading the door would prevent her from leaving.
This is all very interesting hypothetical discussion, but it's not saving the children. I vote for going and finding the children and securing them. I vote we go in the tunnel. Who's with me?
Yes, I believe I suggested we should check the channel. I'm happy to
Sure.
go and have a look.
I'm happy checking, but I'm feeling quite tired.
Would you stick in the middle?
How's your mage armour? Is it running out yet?
What do you mean running out?
It has an 8-hour limit.
Ah. I didn't put it on until we first saw the town.
You put it on when you got to the town. I think
okay.
I think you both put it on when you actually got to the town.
Oh, that's... Wait, got there or got into?
Got when we first saw it.
Yeah.
So we've got about an hour
You've
left.
got about an hour-ish, yeah.
Okay.
We better hot put it then.
Mm-hmm.
We should leave at least one person. Some have suggested two in case it might be useful to make sure nothing comes in behind us as well.
Again,
Shade and Dessel?
what's stopping us from...
Shade and Dessel is a good
Barricading the door.
suggestion.
But Dessel
Shade
will
is
be
a
a
bit-
familiar face to the children if we find them, and that will be advantageous in getting them out quickly.
Dessel? If the hag goes to Dessel, then he'll just let the hag past anyway.
We're not a hag and we're not a ghost. We're not zombies. I think the children know that we're.
Yeah, I did probably, but
This isn't a daycare. We have to get them out quickly. It doesn't matter if they want to go with us at this point.
Shade is happy to stay behind.
Shade and Dessel is.
Okay.
Are you still? No, I think it should still be up, right? The protection from good versus evil. But if it's not, I'll cast
It is because it lasts 10 minutes,
It
hour.
lasts a while. I don't think I lost concentration from it, and I opted
You
not to
did
use-
not lose concentration. Yeah.
So perhaps you would still be best vanguard part if you would do the.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's
Alright.
still going then.
I'll go in front. Start.
Should I use enhance ability to boost people's wisdom to stop her from charming? Or is given a bonus to boost to it?
How many spell slots have you got?
A lot.
I mean,
I,
should
Shouldn't
I have
use
used
any,
a single
remember?
first level and a single second
Isn't it a
level.
concentration spell?
It is not.
Yes,
I think it is. Yeah.
it is.
Is it? Oh yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So you can do one person.
And if you cast at a higher level, you can
I
do
can
2.
cast it on 4 people at once. Sorry, 3 people at once. If I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd hold on to that.
Okay. Okay, that was that was just it.
So Dessel and Shade are staying up top. to keep an eye on whether anything comes through the walls into the hut. And the rest of you are going down the stairs,
Yeah.
leaving the inner door open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
I
not?
kind of wanted to hold on the inner door, to be honest.
Did the front door of the hut
Is there a way of-
actually have a door? You know how we
Yeah.
all, the ghost faced through it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Should we make sure that's closed?
Mhm.
And
Is
then
there a way
have
of
them hold
jamming?
the inner door open.
Is there a way of jamming the other door open
We don't
to
want
prevent
to.
it being locked behind us?
We have 2 guards though.
Yeah, Dessel and Shade.
And we also have several heavy lumps of metal.
Yeah. Do you want Dessel and Shade to basically stand at the top of the stairs where that door is and just
Yeah.
keep that door open as far into the hut as they can, watching the hut?
Yeah.
Cool. And then the rest of you, 6 of you? Yeah, 6 of you are heading downstairs. Quietly or not quietly?
I think at this point we're
I think she
already
knows
aware,
we're here.
Yeah.
so
That's
that's
fair. Huh?
We're guard
before
up,
we
I guess.
do
Just-
that, are there any minor defences we know about for warding against spirits? Like, kind of general things that you put circle of salt will prevent spirits.
The hallowed spell.
Well, I mean,
I'm saying for general, like small things to slow it down, or just that they can have.
You might have a superstition about it. If you want to have a superstition, magic is a very good way of stopping spirits and stuff. They're normally magical in nature.
Just kill them.
They're
Yeah.
called clerics.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah.
I
Pretty
wasn't
much.
sure if superstitions actually had any
Basis in reality.
basis in these ones.
Depends on the superstition.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, yeah, so we should go down.
Cool. Your marching order, Par is at front, because you have to go in single file. So it's Par, then
Shamshir.
yeah.
Shamshir.
I go next.
Then me.
Seems smart.
Yep.
Dead in the middle for the protection as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
The circle of friendship. God protection.
and then
Oh,
Me.
yeah.
No, yes, me.
So you're at the back.
I'd rather not be at the
We-
back.
we don't-
I'll go at the back.
You're at the back. Cool.
It was more imaginary. I don't want the exploding person that close into the middle of everyone.
I'm
To
not
be
gonna
fair,
explode.
None of you have yet noticed, have actually seen him explode.
He hasn't blown
Yeah,
himself up. He's
no
only given
reason
himself
to
like
be
silly
exploded.
mustache.
Didn't he give himself a birdie beard?
Yeah,
feather
feather
beard.
mustache.
Yes, I had a
It's
feather
iconic.
beard, I burnt bubbles, and I floated a bit.
Mm.
You made me fly, yeah?
Yeah,
He's
it's
got stone
only
orbits
ever
his
been
head.
funny.
Yeah, he's got a stone orbed head.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys make your way down. There is no sound coming from the staircase, the stone steps as in front of you, and there is no light. So as you start making your way down, you become unable to see, unless you're doing something about that.
I have dancing lights if needed.
Cool.
Remember
Hand on
where we
Shamshir.
are.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. I've forgotten.
Well, there was light in the hut, but you
Yeah.
couldn't see light outside the hut.
Can we see no light at all ahead of us?
No light at all.
I can cast dark vision, but it would sacrifice protection on Par. Instead I'll just hold on to Par's
Would
shoulders
it?
as well.
Dark vision isn't a concentration.
No, dark
spell.
vision is not a concentration spell. Dark vision just lasts for 8
Lasts-
hours.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
Well,
It's so good.
if I have a second level spell slot, then I'll cast that. I do. I have 1 left.
No, just touch yourself. I can just hold on to your shoulder.
Okay, then yeah,
It
I'll
really
dark
doesn't-
vision myself as well, so
I
I,
mean,
can see.
Cool.
If a fight kicks off, there's going to be some amount of light. Or I should be
Wonderful.
punching like one of you guys into the floor. Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. That way.
Cool. So, Par, you step into the room first. It's just a stone cavern. No other tunnels coming off of it. It's just this stone staircase that leads into this cavern. There's a very, very strong smell of decay in the air. It does not smell pleasant, but it's almost like you step off the steps and it immediately hits you. It's not wafted up the steps at all.
Oh, I'm getting bored of that smell.
Do you stop at the bottom of the staircase or sort of... Well, actually, no, I'll finish describing the rule. Around the room there is sort of... immediately to your right is a pile of sort of rags, varying sizes and whatnot. Sort of, there's like a dimple in the middle looks almost like a makeshift bed. Probably not the comfiest thing in the world, but there wasn't a bed in the hut upstairs. So, in front to your right, you can see a pile of adult corpses, mostly human. There's a couple of elves. They all look sort of similar to the creatures that you just spent like a minute and a half fighting off, in that they're all completely drained of moisture. But they don't seem to be moving. There's no reaction to you being. It's just a pile of corpses. Along the left-hand side, there is a dozen or so small cages that are about sort of 3 foot high, 3 foot long, and 5 of them have a child sort of huddled up against the far edge, closest to the wall, away from you, in fear. They can't see, they are all human, but you can see that they're all huddling away, but there's only 5. In the middle of the room are 2 wooden tables. They're makeshift. They've been put together by hand. They don't look they're not very presentable, but they are slightly angled, almost sort of like a surgery table. And you can see on those tables 2 unmoving children, one male, one female, that are strapped down at their wrists, ankles, and neck. And one of the tables and the surrounding area is coated in blood.
So there were 3 tables in the middle.
2 tables.
Oh, and on one of them there's 2 children.
No, there's one child on each, isn't there? Oh,
Yeah, there's 1 child on each. There's 5 children in the cage.
There's still one missing.
and one of the tables has lots of blood, not a third table.
No, it's- yeah.
So
Yeah.
There's no spare blood table.
Did you say the pile of bodies was on the right as piles facing the room, or in the
Yeah,
centre?
on the right, yeah.
Okay.
Sort of diagonal right.
are there any other entrances or exits?
Nope. That's what you see. Are you stopping or are you letting other people
I
come
will
down?
momentarily pause and just sort of take in the horror of it all.
Yep.
This might be the darkest thing I've ever seen.
Fresh dose of PTSD.
Yeah.
Is it safe to enter?
Well, as
Because
far
we
as I can
can't
tell,
see.
but just pinch your nose. And I will go and inspect the 2 kids on the table to see if they're alive or not.
Okie dokie. So the rest of you step in. You see the exact same thing.
I don't.
No, I don't.
No. Those of you who can see the exact same
I put
thing.
my hand on your shoulder and I go, I can't see anything.
I can smell it, but I can't see it.
Be grateful you can't
Yeah.
see it.
Be glad.
I can definitely smell it.
Is there any reason not to make light in here?
I don't know yet.
Has anyone got a torch?
Yes.
I'd recommend we don't light any torches or make any lights. We saw flies reanimating. Jeez, and I'm like,
This
I
is
don't
what
know,
I want
tend
to
not
double
be
check
sick.
first.
There's a large pile of bodies and possibly 2 dead children on that table.
There are no flies.
Eldoran, are there any undead things in here?
I'll do the thing. What's it?
How many uses of that do you get?
Several, I think.
Charisma modifier +1, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
should-
you
So a lot.
There we go. Right.
we've got 4.
30 foot. 30 foot?
60 foot.
60 foot.
6 foot around you. Yeah. You'll get the entire cavern. You do a. But there is nothing in here that is undead.
Nothing that's going to get back up and attack us.
Ah.
Don't hold me to that.
I will take
You're already
full
holding me.
responsibility for this.
Oh
I
god.
cast dancing lights.
You cast dancing lights. Cool. The room is lit up dimly. Those of you who couldn't see before are now greeted by this very, very grisly, unpleasant scene.
I told you.
Um,
Uh,
it's
What do
not
the children do when the light appears?
pleasant. They skitter back even. Well, I mean, they were already sort of pressed up against the cage. They skitter back even more. Like, they are terrified, just sort of hiding in the corner. They've turned away from the light, like full on light, into the wall. You were looking at the ones on the table.
On the tables.
You
Yeah.
wanted to check if they were dead.
Yeah.
Make a medicine check.
Oh, naughty.
For their sakes, I really hope they are.
Oh,
Tease. 15.
15. They are both dead.
Okay.
But neither of them are dead from blood loss.
Okay.
So whatever that blood that is coating one of the tables, it's the one underneath the female child, did not come from that child.
Right.
I ask the person who's got the highest healing, because he's our healer, if he can tell how long they've been dead for.
I will make a medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Not as high as that.
That blood, that's meant to be in a body.
You're completely
Going by the
correct.
size of the child and the amount of blood, I think.
5.
5. You have no idea.
I couldn't tell you. But it's subterranean, air temperature.
I think that's a bit of a moot point at this point. Right.
Do the bodies look intact?
Yeah,
They
they're not
look
dismembered
intact.
or anything.
No, they're not dismembered.
If we take them back to town, I'm sure either the parents would appreciate the return of their child's body, or perhaps there is someone that can revive them.
I think there are 5 more things, more important things in this room to focus on.
Before we get
As
to
well
them,
Is there another exit?
No other exit.
before we let them out, we should cover these. They don't need to see it again. So,
Oh, from the
take-
children, I see.
Grab some rags.
so if
from
there are
the
some
pile.
rags somewhere, then
Yeah. Yeah, you can strip rags
In
off
the
what
big
was
pile
the
of rags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't see a minute ago.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah, so you strip
asked-
them and cover the tables and the bodies with rags. Yeah.
I will ask Derek and Shamshi if they can see if there's any secret passages out of this room.
Shampoo, have a look. I'm gonna get the kids out of the cages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look around the
Yep,
room.
cool.
Then
I'll
say
help
if
you
need
with
a
that.
hand with the key with the cages, I can open them. as well. And yeah, I'll look around the room.
Cool. You help them.
I'll help.
Cool. Make a perception check with advantage.
Any of the locks you can't open, I'll hit with my mace.
There's no lock. I can't.
I know. It's going to be a low number.
22.
22. There are no signs of secret passages or secret doors or tunnels or anything out of this cave. It's just a single cabin with some steps heading down into it.
Is there like a hook anywhere that might just have keys on it?
There is not, but the cages are locked. But they're already sort of shut by a bolt, as it were. The holes aren't big enough where the children can actually get their hands through and move the bolt. Plus, they can't see. So
Will they come willingly? Have they checked to see if their minds have been altered as well? Perhaps they consider Mama their actual mother now. Who knows?
Get him in the bag.
Children, are you okay? We're here to save you. We're from the village.
Most of them continue to sort of cower into the wall.
Who's got that token?
We're here with what's his name? Dessel. We're here with Dessel from the village. He's just upstairs. He's just up the stairs. If you come out and follow me, I'll take you up to him.
One of them, it's a female child, turns and sort of looks up at you through dark brown hair, sort of just over her face. Like, she looks to be the oldest here. Dessel. I know Dessel.
Yes, and also we know we were sent here by Sheriff Mazzo. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mazza. Yes. We know them. What happened to Mother?
She's gone. She's gone.
Okay.
Should I go and swap place with Dessel so you can come down to calm them down?
No, we're getting them out of here.
Yeah.
You guys can stay down here and can keep doing things, but I'm getting the kids up and out.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
She sort of creeps away to the edge of the cave where they're all they can't stand up. They're all hunched. Like, can you open the cages? We can't.
Oh yeah, I haven't already opened.
Yeah,
I thought I already opened them.
I sort of assumed you can.
They're all open. She steps out, uses the cages as support to sort of pull herself up. She doesn't seem to be able to walk very well, because she spent a few days locked into it.
Do any of them obviously need healing?
None of them are injured. They're all just terrified, and they're all stuck in. They've been stuck in a cage in a cramped over position.
I will,
for a
as
few days.
they file out, take out a couple of rations and sort of like break them in half. There you go. There's two. One for each.
Yeah.
Break 'em in
How
half
old
for
are
them.
these kids?
Between 8 and 13.
I'll probably take 2 of the small ones and carry them up.
Oh, I could pick all 5 up if I really wanted.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be very comfortable for them.
Yeah.
Who has the bag?
While holding me.
Are we putting the...
Can I put the extras? Oh, excuse me whilst I say to all of the kids here, like all of their friends go in the bag.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I thought
You
you
get
meant the
that,
ones I
kids?
couldn't pick up. I was like, no, you're not putting the children in the
Oh,
bag.
you want those ones? Right, I'm with you now.
I will leave them in the bag.
The first one that got out sort of comes over to where you guys are by the table, and it just sort of indicates the table that had the female child on. Does Dessel know?
Oh, flip.
He will do soon.
Is this a relative of Dessel's?
I'll tell him.
That's his daughter.
Do you want me to go up and
No.
swap places?
No,
No,
I think
I'll
we
go-
take the children.
I have to go and tell Dessel.
Yeah, take the children.
Okay.
Come, children, go with the bard.
The short man.
So we're still 1 child down though, aren't we? So we're missing 8
Mhm.
total.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not.
No, not because she's a ghost.
Well,
No.
No, you don't know that.
We're missing
Oh.
1. There's 5 in the
Yeah.
cages, 2 on the tables.
There should be
Where's
upstairs.
the extra one? In the pot? In the pot
pot.
upstairs? I can see that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so can I.
But we didn't check. So I'd like to. How big is this pile of bodies that we've got?
Looking over, I mean, it's maybe 5 or 6. They're definitely all adult. Just as you're
Okay.
pushing them through, they're all adult. They're all adults.
No.
Yeah, no children
Too
here.
old, too old.
The skin feels as you're sort of picking it up, you feel it feels really weird. It's just like super dry parchment paper. Like as you're sort of picking it up, you can feel like bits of the flesh just sort of peeling off. It's so dry. Yeah.
Maybe we should burn them as we leave.
Oh, I was way ahead of you on that one.
If
It's
we
a sealed
if-
chamber,
if
don't
we're
worry.
if we're taking the kids back, why are we leaving the adults? Why don't we take all of them back?
Yeah.
Want to burn them just in case they get back up again.
Yeah.
Take them.
That was my plan as soon as I saw them.
Right, but they can do that in the village and they can identify them, they can know what's happened to their loved ones.
I don't think they're part of them because there were elves in the bodies. There were no elves in the village.
I would agree, if we also think that the village has a procedure for burning bodies, whereas we don't. So if we burn these now, we might cause ourselves more problems.
I presume that they burned them in the grounds that we visited. The kids
Yes.
were missing from.
I was thinking do it down here because carting that many corpses is going to attract attention, which I don't want. And this is a sealed chamber. We can get away with light down here, so just pile everything up, match it, go away.
If the hag
Wait for
somehow,
everyone else to leave first.
if the hag somehow is still down here,
Well, then I've just burned all of her stuff and she moves on.
we'll smoke her out.
Do they? Does the body? If I pick one up
Mhm.
of the adults, does this feel like it's lost a lot of weight, lacking
Uh,
in moisture?
Yeah, it's lacking. Yeah, it would be. It's fairly weightless.
I'm just gonna start folding them into the bag. Like I think
Yeah.
let's just Move them to their own way of saying goodbye.
You don't have to worry about
Oil
spillages.
like fun.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. You don't have to worry about any
1, 2,
spillages.
3.
The skin's gonna split, but
Villages.
It's going to be flaky in there
Yeah.
for a while. That ain't no Greg sausage roll.
It's just, I don't want to cut you off, but if anything does go wrong, we're all quite in various shapes of being battered or perforated, thanks Dessel.
I think Dessel's about to get punished enough for what happened.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do a quick scout around the room and look for possible loot.
in the cavern,
Mm.
there's what you can see in the cavern is what you can see. There's not anything of interest in there.
Cool. Always got to check.
Cool. So you guys make your way back upstairs. Derek escorting the children first. You get to the top. Did you keep the female child in the bag, or did you remove it from the bag?
I
You
don't
put
No,
the,
no,
you
no,
put
no,
the
no,
male
no.
child in the bag, but
Yeah.
then perhaps Eldran will carry up Dessel's daughter or whatever.
No, I
Just
think
tipping
we
her up.
leave her on the. We bring him down
Yeah.
so he can do it away from the children.
I mean, they've all seen, right?
So on
In
the
Yes,
this
but
room.
he wants the privacy of the children.
on the wood that's blood spattered, not the clean one. What
It
wood?
doesn't matter.
Not going to be looking at the blood.
It's
Well.
gonna,
I mean, there are probably better ways to find your dead child than in
Yes.
the dank cavern. There's just tip it in the caramel smelling room, right?
He'd probably resent it more if we dragged his child out of a bag.
Yeah, so we carry her up, drop her on the floor, put her in the pot with the other child, cook them up.
Okay, so
Then
we
hand
call
over
Dessel
the
down
bag's
to see.
possessed.
Did the hand not do anything to you?
no, but I think Ivan may be slightly more broken than normal.
One of them, it's just to put the
Christmas has
relatively
been
normal
rough, man.
suggestion.
Christmas has been rough, man.
Yes, to put the normal suggestion into context next to the bizarre suggestion.
So you're carrying
No, we're
No.
leaving the kid
the
down
kid
there.
staying downstairs.
We're
Okay.
going to go upstairs.
To
and
send
What?
Dessel back down the stairs to then
Yeah.
carry him and his daughter back
No,
up the
no,
stairs.
no, that's stupid. I'm gonna pick his daughter
You
up.
pick his daughter
I
up.
think that's
Wonderful.
probably, yeah.
Okay. So
And I will wait for everyone else to go up the stairs
Yeah,
first.
that's fine. Everyone else goes up first. Derek, you will get the top first with the kids, who start sort of just like.
I tell the kids to go and sit by the fire where it's warm.
Mhm.
in the middle of the room.
Near the pot, yes.
Oh well.
We don't know if there's a child in it yet.
It smells like sugar. It doesn't smell like
Yeah.
child soup.
Yep.
Um,
How do you
No,
know what
it's-
child
yeah.
soup smells like?
Because I'm a scientist.
It's important to know these things because then you can identify it at a later point.
Yeah.
This is the important job of science in our world.
And I'll tell Shade
Mhm.
to go and stand guard over them because so it stops them talking.
Yeah, he'll go over and just sort of awkwardly stand over.
But I will get Dessel's attention, and I will.
Not hard to get because as the children come up, he stopped paying attention to what was going around him and was paying
Yeah.
attention to the kids, and you've noticed him be a bit like.
Dessel, I'm really, really sorry, but I have some bad news. I'm afraid your daughter's dead. I'm so sorry.
As Paul walks up the stairs.
Cunningham's corpse.
But we do have her body, so if we can get her to a cleric of the if we can get her back to town and the cleric whose name is
That bloke.
shit.
I don't think his name's shit.
Yoris.
Yeah, sure. Go
Yeah,
on.
sure.
Yoris.
If we get to back to Jonas, then maybe resurrection can happen, and your daughter will be back with you. I am very, very sorry. Take any time you need.
He steps over to Pa and just sort of takes the body off of you,
Mm-hmm.
and then sort of sits down and then just completely breaks down.
Yeah.
sort of just stroking the hair, crying, and muttering her name.
Okay, so just to clarify,
Mm-hmm.
because I have no memory of the ghost child,
Mhm.
I therefore have no memory of seeing the ghost child drink the broth.
Yep.
But Derek can do basic maths, and he can do 5 plus 2 is not 8.
Yes.
And he can see a large pot of bubbling, suspicious liquid.
Yep.
Can I make some sort of intelligence check or something to try and
Swizzle
be
your
like-
knife.
I mean, you can.
Just take the lid off.
Yeah, you can make the. I mean, there's no lid on it. It's just this weird brown bubbling.
Even without knowing what I know, I
You
made
can
that
put-
assumption.
Yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together to make 4.
And,
There's no other possible
You
place
can
for a
put
child.
5 and 2 together and not get 8.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Okay,
here's a-
so I have one empty vial from a health potion.
I
left, right?
have an alchemy kit,
Okay.
so I've got an infinite supply for argument's sake.
Icarus, the stuff in the pot. I want you to take 2 samples,
Okay.
2 vials of it.
Is there a ladle?
Yes, there is. Yeah, you
Nice.
you distinctly remember Eileen drinking the brown liquid from the ladle,
Yeah.
but actually drinking it. It just like dripped through her. She drank it.
I will take 2 samples.
You will take 2 samples. It is considering the fact that it's just sitting on a fire and it's a black metal pot. The liquid is surprisingly cool.
Mm.
It's almost like it's magic.
Oh, yeah.
And as you disturb the surface and pour it, you are hit very strongly in the face with the very, very sweet smell.
Still sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So, distilled human child smells like caramel.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
Are there any kind of cupboards or drawers?
There's loads of shelves of weird shit,
Containers.
wasn't there?
Yeah, the
There's
shells full of
bookshelves.
just weird
Can I
bits.
investigate weird bits?
What are you looking for?
Anything that I actually might recognise? Like,
Bits that are weird.
There's nothing here that seems to make sense. There's things like what was I said? There's like a fish on a stick, but like it's an actual fish. It's not an undead fish. It's a fish on a stick, not rotting. There was a vial that just had like a toenail just sort of floating in the middle of it. Weird things like that. It doesn't seem to be anything.
useful, just random
Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's just random bits and bobs.
experiments.
You never know when a fish on a stick might come in useful.
Or to
Round
get
dinner time, I say.
Might need to chop a tree down.
Only if it's a herring.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to do a bit of science. I'm going to take the fish on the stick and
Mhm.
take it outside and see if it becomes undead.
No, it stays a fish.
Hmm.
That was
That's
the
weird.
science I was going to try. I'm going to burn a small amount of incense and just sort of stand watch whilst Dessel does his
Yeah,
thing.
I'm keeping
Mm-hmm.
just trying to give him some privacy in a room
Yeah.
full of people.
Yeah.
It's everyone's sort of turned their back on him, and he's just become the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm. The sobbing elephant in the room.
Yeah. It does. He only has a breakdown for about sort of 5 or so minutes before you sort of hear him take a deep breath and sort of mutter something to himself under his breath, and he stands back up and rejoins you. But he doesn't say anything. He just rejoins.
Dessel, Eldoran, Pa, I think we should go downstairs and just destroy as much as we can. Because you guys can destroy things and I can't really do it.
Yeah, don't worry. I can sort that. I'll go back downstairs. I'm gonna take the tables. Did you pick up all the corpses?
Yeah, all the adult corpses are in bag.
Okay, so it's just a pile of clothes and 2 tables. And
And
cages,
cages.
but they're metal. I'm gonna...
They'll have no doors.
That's true. Actually, I'm literally just gonna pile everything into the middle of the room,
Mm-hmm.
light a torch, and
Sure.
so just create a whopping great big furnace, basically. Hoping it goes up because it's really dry. The blood might fuck with that, though.
I mean, the rags are quite dry. The wood is quite. The wood itself was dry until the blood. The other table. So yeah, it doesn't take long to catch. And it starts burning. Yeah.
Good, and I'm hoping it melts the cages, so I will just go back up the stairs, close the door, and go, that's settled, let's go.
Does the door have a grill in it?
Does it have a what?
Is it a grill in the door?
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure that that door's left open when we leave. It needs oxygen.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're
Mhm.
making our way out then.
If we're certain there's nothing of value here before we leave.
Well, I'm famished. Anyone want anything to eat?
There's a fish on a stick.
I think I'll wait until we get back to safety.
I'd also quite like you guys to trash the upstairs as well.
Yes, but
Because
everyone.
clearly all these things are important to her. So.
Oh, okay, all of you leave the room. I'll do the same thing.
Well, yeah. No, obviously we don't set fire to it till everyone's left.
Yeah, obviously. Kick the pot off and then kick the fire into the
I would
bookshelf.
like to request not setting it on fire.
I think burning it is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
As the trolls demonstrated earlier on.
We can
but
destroy
we're
it, just
leaving.
not fire.
So as we're leaving
Yeah,
and
that's
lots
fine.
of undead rush in towards us, it's going to be a signal fire in the middle of a dark territory. What
Who's
the
the
point?
quickest here?
Like,
Shade.
what is the point of burning this place? What's for some petty revenge against the witch that has left? There is no merit to this. It's completely pointless.
If she has this place of safety, she continues hunting on
She's
these
been
children.
proven out. She knows that it's been
What's
captured.
There's nothing to stop her come back.
She waits an hour and comes back.
No, beasts don't return to the same lair that's already been destroyed, whether it's a wolf, a bear, or a shade, or like an old lady in this case, a witch, a hag.
And you know that for certain?
It was my profession.
We can destroy it, we just don't have to burn it.
I think that it's just a petty act of revenge with no
I am all
consequence.
for the petty act of revenge in general purposes.
As you guys are talking, there's a creak from one of the walls, and a crack starts running through the wood.
Ah, that seems to be our invitation to
Oh, it's going to do it itself. Never mind, let's go.
Yeah. Go move.
Do we want to
Wish I
put the
still had
fire
my
out first?
No.
No.
What just happened to that wall?
Just a crack. It creaked, and then a crack just went straight down from the top to the bottom.
Is I go and open the front door
Mm-hmm.
and go outside. Is
Cracks.
anything?
The crack's gone through the other. There's nothing's hit it. There's just a crack through the wall.
Is there anything outside the hut? I'd like
Is
to make
there
sure
any
we're not about to
smoke?
push children out into monsters.
There's no smoke.
Oh my God.
There is nothing outside. It just creaked and it just went.
I would like to put out the fire and leave the built room.
Okay.
The fire's in the basement. And it's
No,
probably
no,
pretty
no, there's a
big.
fire in the
Oh, you actually mean that fire? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Don't destroy my goddamn handiwork.
Okay, children, time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Cool.
you put your dancing lights out, by the way?
Yeah, they would have
Yeah.
gone as soon as we left the basement.
Yeah. Cool. Lights are out. As you guys are walking up, there's another crack and another pop and a crack across another part of the wall. And as you leave, you just watch as this spider web of cracks just run up all the wood, and the house just collapses. Hut just collapses in on itself.
Well, that's not at all creepy. Fire wasn't a problem then.
Says off the job. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
Make
need to
way
make
back
a
to the-
block formation around the children and quick step back to the sanctuary.
I presume we'd have whatever trail we left heading here as
Same
On the way
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you can make your way back. I mean, there was one way into this little ravine, so
I'm casting a spell.
you cast a spell.
I've cast Good Brie. Which is why I said I was hungry, and I'm going to have a Good Brie. And I'm going to offer one of the, I think you get 10 to 12.
10 good
So
berries.
I'll pass out a Good Brie to all the kids, because maybe they're still hungry after their
Mhm.
incarceration. And then
Cool.
there's like three, anybody else?
Does it help with exhaustion?
I don't believe so. It heals 1 hit point. But it also gives you sustenance for the day.
It heals the hit points, you say.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm at 26.
I have not been wounded today.
I think I took 7 damage in the fight.
I took
Because I haven't been involved in either of the fights.
8 damage.
For various
Nice,
reasons.
nice.
Shade will eat a good berry.
Yeah,
He's taking a lot of damage.
Actually, no. Wait, no. He won't eat a good berry because he
He
can't
can't
eat a good berry at the moment.
Oh,
Smush
you
it.
have to uncover his face.
Yeah, he won't eat a
There's a
good berry.
little hole for the breathing.
Yeah.
It just smushes it through.
Get him a straw. There we go.
Just stick up his nose.
Yeah. Well, any part of the face,
Snorts
just
a
stick
good
a straw in there.
Well, I suppose
That's
we
a
can
really
pop up with our
different
own.
thing.
You can spot it. It's all food. It'll get digested.
Yeah.
The good berry is anything as long as it's a berry, so isn't that a watermelon?
No, I made it a spicy ashriot variant.
Oh, that's probably not the way I've done that.
All the kids are now like,
God damn it.
I distribute water to the children.
makes it worse.
Whiskey?
That's cool.
I've got some sweet liquid.
No.
Feed the children. Sorry, child.
Caramel.
Yeah, caramelised child.
So you start making your way back
Yeah,
to
no,
the
we're,
separated
yes,
settlement.
yes.
Yeah.
I think it would probably make sense if while you rest of your form defensive group, if me and Shade scamper ahead to be just in case there's something ahead, we can avoid having the children in the combat zone, so me and Shay can see it coming,
Yeah.
or at least Shay can see it coming, and I can actually blunder into it and set it off before the kids get there.
Or you could say about it.
So our mage on the way's off halfway through it.
Yeah.
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 I can't reapply it.
Nope.
Oh no!
Child put us mage armor back on.
I mean, you can't,
Well, yeah,
you
you've
can't
got
cast
such
any
a
spells
bias.
at the moment because you might kill all the children.
Can you not cast it on me?
It's
Yes,
a
I can.
You
Is
can.
it? Is it touch?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
touch.
it is touch. That's right. It is touch.
And
That
I
takes
am
some
going to
explaining.
use. Which one is it?
Cool. So you're stealthing ahead, as is Shade. No,
No, I'm just moving ahead.
just moving ahead. Just so that, cool. Fair enough. So it'll be
I'm going to use that, and I'm also going to use twin spell to do it.
cool.
If Shade was stealth, Shade stealth, but I'm
Yeah.
One spell.
skipping along, being la 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 la. If anyone's going to get eaten, please eat me.
You're,
During
you're,
the children.
you're attempting
You're the
to.
bait.
You're trying to be bait.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got
Just in case.
I'm so delicious. I'm covered in barbecue sauce.
Derek and Shade at the front.
You want to be
Who's going up after them?
Or I'm assuming it's like a 3 wide X
Yeah.
amount
Yeah, you can be
square around the kids, so I'll be one of the 3 in the front.
I'd quite like, I would quite like to be at the back because I'd quite like to remain on the lookout at the other side of the formation as well.
I'll be on one of the sides, I suppose.
Opposite
You
side.
and Dessel at the front, you two at the
Yeah.
back,
Like
and
that.
then you two covering the mid.
Dessel is sort of wandering around at the back.
Yeah.
He's not completely focused on what's going on.
Did we bring his kid with him?
He's
or did
carrying.
we-
He's carrying. Yeah.
Right.
Like a backpack.
Oof, my god, dark.
That's a morbid piggyback, right?
Oh. It's worse if you
Well,
want
as
to
soon as
make.
keeping his arms free.
Yeah, but if he wants to take anything out of the bag, I mean, it's a bit messy.
I said like a backpack. I didn't say she's actually a backpack. She's not put a zip in her.
Oh, and now I'm getting taxed on my backpack.
Yeah.
So you make your way back. Nothing bothers you.
Oh,
on
Oh,
your
sorry,
way
that
back.
was the line. Okay, good to know.
No one is a leather worker, are they?
You make. Yeah. You get back to the
That
outside.
got no reaction. That got no reaction. Okay. Cool.
It's a timing, I just did it to put it on.
Oh dear. You make it back there. You get hailed on your way to the gate.
Oh, we're at the gate. Cool.
As you're making your way past the walls, you do get hailed, but you're not asked who you are, what you are. They're watching you. They're just making you aware that they've seen you. They know they can see what's going on. When you get to the gate, you actually find the gates already open for you, and you are able to just sort of walk in. There are a couple of guards sort of standing around, keeping an eye out. And as the last you get in, the gate is raised and shut. And Dessel has sort of just wandered off into the gatehouse, has just disappeared. You see that the guards are starting to sort of take care of the kids more, taking them off your hands, and sort of are shuffling them into the gatehouse as well, just to get them
Safe.
Inside out the way.
inside out of the way. Yeah.
I'm going to grab either of Vesis, Cynthia, or Morn, whichever one I can see first.
Yeah. You'd see Vesith, well, first, because she was one of the people who was on the gatehouse originally.
Yeah, because she's like second in command. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've found most of the children. Dessel's not doing well because unfortunately his daughter's dead. But we found what was taking the children. It's some sort of hag or witch or something. Very powerful spellcaster creature. We found its lair. It seems that the lair is gone, but we're not sure whether. But we did not destroy the creature. But that's what the creature is. So you'll know next time.
Okay.
If she comes back. We're not leaving the island, and we may. If we see her again, we will definitely do our best to destroy her and remove her as a threat. Just so you're aware, that's what happened. That's what we found.
The way she was taking the children is she has either like a familiar or some sort of child of her own, but either way there was some ghost who was taking on like a full form, coming in here, talking to the kids and then getting them out, like on their own, convincing them to leave.
Your memories, as you may be aware, were modified to accept the situation as well.
So we need to look out for a ghost as well.
Well, they still look normal, if I recall correctly.
The
been a hell of a day.
the ghost considers the hag creature its mother, and the hag considers the ghost her daughter.
Good.
So just be on the lookout for a kid you don't recognise, essentially.
Yes. No, we will do that. Thank you. Are you heading back to Bleakwick, or are you wanting to spend the night here?
I think we'll rest here.
It's safe to stay
If
here
it's
for the
safe.
night. I think we should.
Yes, we can make sure you are given somewhere to stay in the gatehouse.
We also have a few more bodies. One
We can help you keep watches on the wall and things.
one passed away child, and some adults and elves. Some maybe taken from Bleakwick, some maybe from other settlements.
Apart from that, the patrol that went missing, I don't think any of the adults here have gone missing.
Well, maybe you'll be able to identify any of the adults.
Maybe.
The elves do sound like a odd find.
It might be
Yes.
just random undead.
The village here was nearly all human, correct? Or were all humans. So the elves will have been further afield than normal, especially
It
if
was
it's
Some
that-
zombies that wander on the island.
No,
well,
maybe.
maybe, but they look like adults rather than zombies, and they just. That's
Yeah,
last time, I guess,
yeah.
with all your moisture during that. Maybe they were zombies drained.
Didn't the sheriff from the other place say that there's a mining town further up the river that was elves?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're probably from there. How many bodies
Perhaps.
did you pick up?
6, I believe.
6. And how many were elves?
2.
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
But as this seems to be the place that you use for your burnings and burials, correct? Is it
Mhm.
safe to leave these in your care?
We can see that they are burnt. Yes.
And so I guess we can tip out the bag with all the flaky bodies out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a child there, so maybe we'll store them separately.
Yes. The guards will take the child, because even if the body gets burned, the parents will want to see the body first.
Someone should probably be keeping an eye on Dessel.
Yes. No, I will make sure he's looked after. He was a volunteer for the second, and the second children went missing. Right. As and when, if you wish to join us on the walls, just make your way up. I'm going back on watch. We will probably shortly have a new guard, but I will tell them you are. You have helped, and you will continue to help.
So we find somewhere for us to bed down, and we take up watches when they relieve you. Gives us a short while to get ourselves acquainted and cure and clean up some of the wounds that we've sustained.
Isn't it when we're taking a long rest now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get given.
Rules mechanics wise, yes.
Yes, you get shown to. Essentially, you get put in the armory in the gatehouse. It's not very comfortable, but it's a place to sleep that's inside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Bed down.
Can one of you two learn Dispel Magic for tomorrow? So that because the next time we meet that hag, I want to be able to attack her. Because at the moment I can't.
Yep.
And if me and A just meet her by herself, then we're just going to start talking to her like she's our best friend.
So I'm going to be getting rid of Lightning Bolt. You can do one spell per day, or you can change all your spells.
One. You change one spell per long rest.
Yeah, if you can change that, I'm going to try and get protection from good and evil.
Okay.
Because that seems like
That will be a
It
bit
is
of
quite useful.
yeah, that'll be a bit of a
Surprisingly.
game-changing spell.
I
Yes.
think instead of knock, which I still haven't used since in the entire campaign.
Funny.
What spell was it you were looking for?
Dispel Magic. That's what I need cast on me so I don't
It's a third level spell.
go.
I have.
Yeah.
How you doing? Hi Frida. You're
But,
my best
yeah, so you guys will finish a long rest. Nothing too bothersome happens over the night. There's an occasion during the night. There's an occasional sort of zombie that wanders up to the walls. But the guards, for the most part, dispatch that themselves. And yeah, the night passes without event, and you guys get a long rest. I'm just going to do a long rest for Shade.
Well, it's nice not having 20 hit points now.
Very much so.
And I'll say this in character as much as out of character. Is there anything we should do to prepare for searching the cave tomorrow?
Yeah, I have to tell you about the cave. When I walked into it, it was very, very cold in there. Magically cold, artificially cold. Possibly, as we get deeper in, it will become damagingly cold. It will become so cold that it will hurt us. So if anyone has got any kind of elemental protection, that would be useful. The other thing about the cave, it's very hard to explain. There's some sort of aura or power in there when you walk into the cave. You'll be presented with a vision of sorts, an effect in your mind, and the cave, this aura, this magical effect will tell you that inside the cave is the thing that you most desire, the thing that you want most in all the world is in the cave, and it will try and entice you in, it will try and draw you in. I was lucky and I did not succumb to the effect, which is why I'm still here. But be prepared for it because you will experience that, and some of you, I hope none of you lose control and rush into the cave.
Remind me, why are we going in there?
To save 7 people.
It's the strongest lead, at least, we have for the missing town sheriff.
Oh, there was that group. Oh,
Yeah.
dear God, there's too many missing people. I can't keep up. Okay.
It's been quite a day.
Oh no, that was one day.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah.
tell when the
I
sun
know.
doesn't set, isn't it?
It was a good day.
We did some good that day.
I'm not sure I'd agree with that.
We saved 5 children.
Still five
Yeah, I got
minutes
my
is a
ass
good
beat
day.
twice. Wasn't pleasant for me personally.
I'll be honest, I think it's been a bit more unpleasant for Shade.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Do we not? Has he managed to
He-
hide
he
his
was
face the entire
killed.
time?
Yeah, Shade was killed.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for that reason, yeah, that's fair.
Even with just that, I think it's been a pretty bad day for him.
Seven wasn't great.
Shade does say that he would like to go talk to Yoris before going into the cave.
Okay.
Okay, well then we escort the children back to the
Stick
town.
on face mask.
Sure.
Then Shade can speak to the priest, and then we can.
Are they escorting the children back tonight or before the night or?
We are
No,
having a
no,
long
the-
rest now.
This is
The
the
children
follow-
are-
I assume this conversation was happening the following morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. The children were put up in the guardhouse somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is happening the next morning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're rested.
Okay, well we take back the children. We speak with the sheriff. The stand-in.
Faceache goes and sees the Raven Queen temple guy.
Derek, do you recall if it was pitch dark inside that cave? Would I be unable to see?
I was using my goggles to see. Yeah.
Okay, in which case, as much as I would love to prepare a lesser restoration or some such today, I would think I'll stick with dark vision.
Cool. So you guys get yourself ready, have some breakfast, do some spell preparation, praying, etc., etc. About the time that you get ready to leave is when the guard shift is, so you are actually going back with the children and an escort of guards.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah, there's a large group of people moving across this area, most of which are heavily armed.
The kids need it. The last time they lost
Yeah.
them inside a fort with all the guards. So.
Yep.
Essentially, it's not enough.
I'm not going to use the spell magic yet, just in case we need the level 3 spell slots. I can use it now if you like. And I can use twin spell to use it on both of us. That's a thought. Somebody wasting one spell slot.
I prefer because if she turns up,
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
if she comes back to try and vengefully attack the children and just kill them, or do something like that, because we're moving. You and me are going to be like, oh hi, and we're not going to use this again.
Do I know what level modify memory is?
Derek did, because it's because he rolled high enough to identify. It's a 5th level spell.
Yeah, it's like a modified fifth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the base, the variation of modify memory itself is a 5th level spell.
5th level, yeah.
But what Derek did explain is modify memory can only affect one person at a time per casting. She attempted to affect every single one of you with a single casting.
It could be a weaker spell, but.
She
Well,
can't
no.
say much higher
No, I'm
level.
trying to think of, is it a high level spell to be cast on everyone, but it'd be a weaker effect on each person?
No.
No, it was the exact same effect. Also, modify memory doesn't get stronger with a higher spell casting. So she has created a variation or done something that allows her to target multiple
Okay.
people with that kind of spell.
Hooray.
You've just got to
I
refer
guess I'll
her
roll
to
the
the
dice
purple
with
healing.
plus. My thing is. Eight.
Unsanctioned spell.
No, it's plus your charisma mod.
Oh, is it charisma?
Yeah, it's just your charisma. So +5, I think.
Oh, use spellcasting ability, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll use Dispel Magic and use Twin Spell to hit
To target both of you. Cool. Make a charisma check.
both or each.
Good question.
That is a good question. Hang
I
on.
love you going both your hands crossed.
I'm going to have to read the wording of the twin spell.
Yeah, up to this one's level 1, so level 3 spell, yeah.
I think it will be a spell, a check per spell.
Yeah,
No, it will be, yeah, because if you were to cast it on a person who's under the effect of multiple spells, you'd make a check per spell, not just on the individual. Yes.
Okay, cool. So,
Yep.
alright, four on me.
Yep.
That's a 18 plus 5.
Yep, cool.
So 23 for me.
It is dispelled. You remember the true course of events.
Okay. On Darry.
Yeah, here we go.
17 plus 5.
22.
22.
Cool, yeah. So you also remember the full course of events. and this modified memory has been dispelled from both of you.
It's something very positive. Did I have to use? It's three. Sorcery points. Yeah.
Yes, it's the spell's level.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent.
So, you guys, you also still have this other memory, but you know it's a false memory. You are able to remember what your memory was changed into.
Icarus, can I have the second vial of the thing? Thank you.
Child chop.
Oh, way to put it.
Vial of kid
Cool.
soup.
It's alphabet soup.
So you guys make your way back to Bleakwick. Nothing happens on the way there. It's a relatively safe journey for the most part. You've identified the only potentially dangerous
Do we
part.
point that out to the guards as we pass? Because they typically didn't know about it before.
Yeah, sure.
I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go up there.
Shade's still masked up,
Yeah, Shade's still masked up. Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned
which is odd because he's had a long rest to
Yeah.
heal his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
as we pass the cave, I point out to the guards there is a cave up there.
Yeah, which they're a bit like, really?
Is Dessel with us?
Dessel is not with you.
Okay. Then I would have checked on him before we left,
Yeah.
just to make sure he's.
He doesn't appear to have slept.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
No poop. Sorry.
But he appears to be doing better than he was. But he just, you get the sense he doesn't want to make the journey just yet. But he will make the journey at some point that day. The other guards they're like, yeah, he's not going to go alone. We'll make sure someone goes across with him.
Good.
So in this group that contains us and the children, we've got the 5 children who can walk on their own steam.
Yeah.
There's us and some guards.
Yeah.
But have we got the boys?
You've got the other.
We've got the boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Whether one of you guys is carrying it or one of the guards is carrying it.
I'll carry it.
Cool.
I physically can't carry anything.
Yeah. So you get to Bleakwick. The drawbridge is lowered for you, and you step into probably the most people outside of when they left the town. The most number of people you've seen in one point at any one time, because they're normally off doing stuff. But there is a group of sort of 30 or 40 people who are sort of standing the other side of the drawbridge behind the gatehouse in a sort of little courtyard area. And you can see that Mazo is standing out in front, sort of spear at her side, and just sort of studying you as you come in with the children. The 5 that are on their own sort of do make into runs and head off to groups of individuals within the crowd. And you can see there's lots of hugs and happiness and tears, and then you can see there's a couple of families that are sort of just are looking across and have put 2 and 2 together and are just sort of like, oh, okay. And then one of them spots you with the body, and sort of the dad makes his way over and just sort of takes the body from you, and they head off and do their own thing. And the other family that was watching are just seem to sort of stand there, just completely, and they've realised that there's nothing to show for their child at this point in time. And you do see a woman on her own, who looks a little strange, but then she sort of just does back off her own, as in she's looking at, she's put 2 and 2 together as well, but then she's also noticing that you guys aren't with Dessel. She wasn't looking for you guys, she was looking for Dessel. And then she just sort of sort of gives a weird look and just wanders back off.
So there's only one.
There's only one family that's sort of and there's Mezo who's like, you did well.
Not well enough. And I sort of gesture to the family that's there without anyone.
Well, 5 is better than none.
We did what we could.
Where's the
Maybe in private.
Certainly, we can go to the temple again. So she'll lead you there. She'll lead you to the exact same little separated alcove room that you were in before. Shade heads off to find Yoris just immediately.
2 birds, 1 stone. Let's go.
And they disappear off into another little alcove.
Dude, my face!
Yes,
Please help.
Ow.
Just this in general is the problem.
Super.
Mezzo has sort of, as she escorted you guys across the village, she picked up the other family and was sort of gently nudging them in the direction of the temple as well.
Mentally, good work.
Yeah.
Kettling.
But she sits them out on the sort of in the pews in the main temple area whilst you guys go off into the alcove, and she gets one of the acolytes just sort of
Sit with them.
sit with them, just start a conversation with them. And she looks. Right. 2 bodies not here.
One is.
With Dessel.
The other we were never able to recover,
We had thoughts on it.
but we need a little time to have any certainty on that. It was some form of hag. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like that before.
Hag.
Assisted by a ghostly child.
What was her name?
The hag was called herself Mother Freda,
And then
and the child was
Anna
called
or something?
Evelyn,
Evelyn, yes.
Eileen.
Eileen.
that's
Not names I've heard. I mean, I've never really. I thought hags were a fairy tale.
Well, there were not just the bodies of children, there were other bodies. So I think maybe she has been terrorizing other towns, and that's where Eileen came from.
Yes, we found elven corpses.
But
Curious.
something of what she said made it sound like she was unaware of other towns.
It's very mysterious.
Did you kill her?
no.
Oh, nearly.
She ran.
She teleported.
However,
Right.
her hut, where she resided, that's not there anymore. So she has no home to go back to in theory.
We destroyed it, her torture implements, and then the place collapsed soon after we left, as we left.
Okay.
She was stealing the children through modifying the memories of guards. She's got a powerful spellcaster. It might be wise to have some kind of 2-point checkpoint in and out wherever you're keeping children.
And as I said,
Yes.
keep an eye out for anyone you don't recognize.
I think maybe we start having a acolyte being part of the guard duty. Some sort of magic we've not encountered. It's never seemed necessary before.
That some sort of spellcaster would possibly prevent something like this again.
Obviously, there is some irony to us saying don't trust people from outside the village.
Yes.
I don't think Mesa did trust us until we came back with the children.
Probably not.
Enough to not immediately shoot us with arrows and
Why would she shoot us if we could be killed by the thing taking their children?
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't here when you got here.
Also that.
Not to say I wouldn't have shot you with arrows as soon as I'd seen you.
blame the intern.
On
the other
topic.
issue, we did see a cave along the route.
A cave.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a cave.
It's on quite high up on the hillside. It blends in very, very well.
We believe that's where Kesha and her bodyguards are.
Okay.
7 sets of footsteps went in. None came out.
It's a good sign, yeah.
Certain respects.
And you're planning on investigating the cave today?
Yes.
That is.
We just need to wait for our monk friend over there.
Okay. You said you had something to test or to investigate further in regards to thoughts of where the other child is.
Yes.
Is there something that either that someone in the town can do to help, or is there something I can provide the family with now?
I'm going to go and speak to the cleric, and once I'm spoken to them, I'll come back and let you know what's going on.
Okay.
It is just a theory at the moment.
Maybe the alchemist may need to be consulted. There's an alchemist in town, isn't there?
Herbalist.
I mean, it would be irresponsible right now to jump to any conclusions, but when we arrive there, there is no recoverable
Bless you.
body.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all you should really say to the family right now.
Okay. I will pass that on. And yes, speak to whoever you need to speak to to find whatever information you need.
Do you, the children that we did find, do you Raven Queen followers do resurrections? Or do you believe that will the children be burnt now?
Raven Queen isn't against resurrections if there is a purpose, a reason to do it. But well, the three
They were murdered children.
the three families were visited by ravens.
Well, to each their own. Yes, I will be going to see the cleric.
Do you wish to go on your own or not company?
No, you can all come with.
Cool. Which one are you going to? Are you looking for just the one that's speaking to the family, or are you looking for
Probably
Yoris?
another one.
The most powerful one.
Yoris.
The one talking to our monk.
That's cool.
Yeah, who's doing surgery right now?
The one doing face on.
Yeah.
He's the faceless monk.
Or I can just imagine us walking in the door, Shade doing the Regrouping face, but like his face is here. Just like, oh,
Or, you know,
I'll
head just
put it on
turns around and just
sideways,
see
hang on.
bandages.
He's now a mummy
Stitches
lord.
all the way around.
That's what I wanted to
This
try.
place is not good for him. He's gotten old. He's had his face ripped off.
He's died.
He's died.
died.
He got old, he died,
got
and then
technically
someone
sat
ripped
now.
his face
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, in that order.
I mean, that's the right order for that to happen.
Oh.
Just want to check.
And he was alive through all of it.
Apart from the part where he died.
But he did
Alive to
live
die.
through it. He did live through his own death.
I wouldn't say through it. After it.
Around
not
it.
through it.
If we figure
all-
out how
all of
Yeah,
this is-
around it. I prefer around it, actually.
if
The
we
best thing
figure
is
out
all of this has happened since Pa said, I'm going to protect you.
Yes!
It's actually gotten worse. So
Yeah.
basically, you're the black penny, are you? You're
It's like,
Yes.
it's like no, as soon as Pa goes like, I'm going to protect you now, we're just like, oh no, not me.
The
I'll go
Reaper just walks up behind them and goes,
I'll go protect the hag then, shall I?
yes,
Yes.
Let's make Sod's law work in our favour.
No,
She-
'cause
she
it's
should have
so
mind-
small, it won't
mind-
work that
mind
way.
washed you.
Go and protect Tiamat and let's just change the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do Vecna next.
But again,
Oh
it's
no,
so small.
Tiamat fell off a cliff and now she's...
Oh, that's
no.
unfortunate.
Oh, look
That's
at all
not
this
some
money.
trolls. And Vecna's had his face ripped off.
Tiamat's got 5 heads, that's 5 faces.
Oh.
Get ripped off.
The big dragon
So we're
faces
just
too.
feeding the hag as many faces as we can now.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
Are you volunteering your face?
no.
So you go looking for Yoris. He's in another room that's currently shut off.
Yeah, I wait till Shane
Yeah.
has finished the business.
That's fine. It's after about 5 minutes. They come back out, and Shade has his.
Face on.
He's taken the fabrics apart and he's carrying Shamshir's mask, which he returns to you.
Is it cleaned?
Yeah, it's clean. Yeah.
I was supposed to be like, he's holding his face.
Maybe
We
I'll,
might want a Purella or something.
maybe I'll ask for a new one, maybe. Like in my pocket.
He did have his rags on first and then your mask.
Oh wait,
Bleach.
loose face skin on first is what you mean. Yeah, that's, yeah, man.
Bleach, man, bleach. Does wonders.
You're just walking in with your master of dry cleaners or something like that.
Put this in the autoclave.
Yeah. So there is another acolyte in with them who acts as a translator because you guys don't speak sign.
No.
So Yoris signs the acolyte who turns to you. Yoris, thanks you for returning the children. And what is it? What do you want? What do you need from him now?
When we arrived at the hut of the hag who had stolen the children, we found 5 children alive. We found 2 children unfortunately dead, and the third child there was no sign. There was, however, a cauldron full of strange liquid, and I believe that the hag used one of the children's bodies to make that liquid because the hag was using it to feed her ghost daughter. If that is where the child resides, then this is a vial of it, and maybe you can use this to identify that the child is actually in here with some sort of magic, or if you can use your resurrection magic to bring the child back from this vial. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else to do.
Yaris holds out his hand.
I don't throw it.
Takes the file. Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine, he's a monk.
And just sort of nods at you, and then turns away and goes back into the alcove that he was in.
Chugs it down.
Oh, it's a delicacy.
Yep, it's kid.
Shuts the door,
Right.
leaving the acolyte out with you. Just Yaris went in on his own.
Well, he seemed eager to get started.
Yeah, I said, would we wait for him or?
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do, so he may be some time.
Yes, these processes usually take a while. We could probably come back after doing our own business.
I think that would be expeditious.
Is there anything we need to do?
I stare shade in the eyes. It's good. Okay. Just like whilst the conversation's going on, I'm like, and I want to see if he reacts like, I have a face now.
No, he doesn't react at all.
It stops
He's just
flipping down.
Yeah, basically, I was just waiting for his facelift to stop lifting.
No, when you look closer, you see a zip.
There's no signs of injury on his face,
Excellent.
Just a couple of hinges.
apart from the scars that he already had.
Yeah, and the
Oh yeah,
zip.
he had the scars
zip
there.
on his
Were they
back.
still there after the face had been removed?
That have been marked into the flesh beneath it, yes.
Okay.
Scars should go.
Does his current face look like it's making facial emotions and moving?
Yes.
It seemed very oddly static.
It's moving.
It's not
His-
plastic
His
surgery.
face
No,
face
it's
is
not
back
animated.
to normal.
It's not an animated object.
It's not been
Or an
Botoxed.
illusion.
His face is back to normal. Well, normal for the island because it's still old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes.
Cool, so you guys are going to head to the cave.
Yes.
Wonderful. You'll make your way to the cave. That journey will pass quickly, uneventfully. And as you enter, you're standing around the mouth of the cave. We'll call it a quick little break. And we'll pick up with part 2 momentarily. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next part. It should be good.